What's up everybody, it's Max Digital here, and in this video I'm going to compare the OnePlus Nord N10 5G on the left with the Nord N100 on the right. Let's go ahead and get started. So both of these are OnePlus budget devices. The Nord N10 5G is obviously a 5G phone and it's budget, and the OnePlus Nord N100 is an LTE device, but it comes in at a lower price. That one is being sold at $180, while the Nord N10 5G is at $300. You can get these from the OnePlus website, or you can get them at prepaid Metro PCS, Metro by T-Mobile carrier. You can get these phones either free or for $50. So regardless, these are some really budget priced phones. These phones are very similar in size. They're about 6.4, 6.5 inches in height, and the N10 5G weighs in at 6.7 ounces, while the N100 at 6.6 ounces, so very similar size. For the build quality, the N10 5G is glass front, plastic back, plastic frame. Same thing with the N100, plastic back, plastic frame. Pretty much these phones are plastic. These are budget priced, and they do not have that premium feel of metal. That don't have that premium metal or glass feel, but that is what is expected when it comes down to this budget price. For the displays, they're very similar in size. They're both about 6.5 inches. For the display, they are both IPS LCD, and they both have 90 Hertz. The N10 5G has a 1080p display, so it's full HD, while the N100 is lowered at 720 HD display. They are both similar in screen to body ratio of around 83%, and they have a PPI of 406 for the N10 5G and 269 PPI for the N100. So you're getting a better overall display on the N10 5G, but both of these phones have that 90 Hertz refresh rate, which is very good to find on two budget devices. Both of these phones are running Android 10 with Oxygen OS on top, which is basically a stock version, a really close to stock version of Android. Unfortunately, these phones aren't going to get multiple updates. From what I hear, it's only going to get one update, so it's probably going to get Android 11, and that's about it. For the chipset, the N10 5G has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 695G, and the N100 has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 460. So you get the better processor on the N10 5G, but both of these phones should be fine with downloading most games and running most apps. You shouldn't have too many problems on either of these. For the storage, the N10 5G starts off at 128 gigs, while the N100 is 64 gigs. So you have way more storage on the N10 5G, but luckily both of these devices have micro SD card slots, which are great to find on budget devices. Flagships are killing those off. For the RAM, the N10 5G has 6 gigs of RAM, which is very good, and the N100 has 4 gigs of RAM, which is also okay. Obviously, the 6 gigs of RAM will be better equipped to handle more apps in the background, but the N100 with 4 gigs of RAM is still pretty good for that price point. There's a lot of devices being sold with 2 or 3 gigs of RAM, so that 4 gigs of RAM and 6 gigs of RAM is going to be pretty good at keeping a lot of apps open in the background with no problem. Both of these phones have multiple cameras in the back. The N10 5G has a quad camera setup. It has a 64 main camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel depth, 2 megapixel macro, while the N100 has a 13 megapixel main camera, 2 megapixel macro, 2 megapixel depth. So the better camera experience is obviously going to be on the N10 5G, but not much. I mean, it has that extra ultra wide camera and that huge megapixel count on the main camera, but for the average person, you're not going to notice too much of a difference in quality. These are good phones to take a quick picture of video. Now for the resolution for video, you get 4K on the N10 5G, which is really great at that price point, and you get 1080p video on the N100, also pretty decent for the price point as well. regardless, you should be happy with both of these. Don't expect too much. These aren't flagship quality sensors. The selfie camera, they're almost close. The N10 5G is 16 megapixels at 1080p video. N100 is 8 megapixels at 1080p video. You shouldn't find too many differences in quality of these selfie shooters. So you're getting a headphone jack on both of these devices, which is pretty good. That means you could still hook up your headphones, your mic, or hook it up to your car via an aux cord and listen to music, something that the flagships are removing. And if you are a person that's fully into wireless, both of these are equipped with Bluetooth. You have 5.1 on the N10 and you have 5.0 on the N100. Both of these are great to hook up your wearables such as your smartwatch, smartband, wireless headphones, speakers, and all types of other devices. The N10 5G has NFC, which is probably just going to be used for Google Pay. There's no NFC on the N100. Both phones are equipped with USB Type-C port for charging. Very versatile, underrated ports found on lots of other devices such as Chromebooks, MacBooks, Windows PCs, tablets, iPads, just a whole mess of other devices. Very underrated port. Both phones for security uses a fingerprint sensor. They both are rear mounted. A very reliable, very quick way, although a little bit old school way to open your phone, but it's there and it works. Now for the battery, the N10 5G has a 4300 milliamp battery, while the N100 has a 5000 milliamp battery. So this is kind of weird because the N10 5G is a more premium device. It has the 5G and it has the smaller battery. 4300 milliamps is okay. It probably won't get you throughout the whole day, while that 5000 milliamp battery is very impressive on the N100. It doesn't have 5G. It has a lower resolution screen, a lower processor. That phone will definitely get you throughout the whole day. Now, both of these do offer fast charging, so if you do manage to need a charge, you get 30 watts on the N10 5G, 18 watt fast charging on the N100. Neither of these devices offer wireless or reverse charging. So after reviewing the specs of both of these devices head to head, I've come to the conclusion that both of these are great devices, but which one is the better value? It's going to be the N10 5G because at $300, it is the cheapest 5G phone available. You can get it even cheaper for $50 on Metro by T-Mobile prepaid. It was even offered free at one point. The N100 right now is free on Metro by T-Mobile prepaid, and for $179, it is not bad at all. But if you want more RAM, better processor, better screen, go with the N10 5G. And obviously, if you are in a 5G coverage area, that 5G will give you faster speeds, so definitely get the N10 5G. But there's nothing wrong with the N100. It was a very practical device, and at that price point, you're getting 90 hertz refresh rate and a massive battery. So just look at your options. Both of these should not disappoint you, especially at these price points. Well, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. It's been my comparison of the OnePlus Nord N10 5G and the OnePlus Nord N100. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.